If you're driving, please remember to use your car's Bluetooth speaker while listening to the AM Drive. Sports talk is not worth your safety or the safety of others.
Grab your popcorn and sit back.
Jump the gun. Oh, no, give me more than that. Okay, go this way. That was dumb. We are.
How could I tell you when nobody wants to? You'll fade the words I will choke.
Happy Thursday to everyone in the sports universe. It is August the 11th, 2022. This is the AM Drive on Twitter, YouTube, and Facebook. And hello and good morning. For Aaron Crouch, who's back, I am Alan Carpenter, your regular host, saying, what's up, Aaron?
Not much. I can't stress enough how much, Sammy holds it down in the Studio B slot here. But, yeah, I'm back for the last two shows of the week. And took the wife and the family. We went to Los Angeles. We had a good time. It was we caught a Dodger game, my first trip to Dodger Stadium. So that was pretty cool. Very cool stadium, but I don't know if it makes my top 5.
Ooh, how many have you been to?
Probably half. If there's 28 or so teams, I've probably been to 14 or 15.
So you've been to Fenway?
Yes.
Is that one of your top 5?
Yes, but I'm biased.
Well, I figured that much. But the Green Monster's got to be cool in person, though.
It is. I actually took a tour of Fenway, other than going to games, but I'm saying on a separate note, I actually got to sit in those monster seats. I don't think I'll pay the price for a regular game to sit in those monster seats because they're like $600 or $700,
Right.
a ticket. But it is a pretty cool view to watch a game. It's unorthodox. But I did recently go to San Francisco. Oracle, I think, is the number one park in my mind.
What's it with Oracle stuff, man?
Say that again?
What's it with Oracle stuff? I feel like Oracle Arena for the Warriors is pretty cool, too, I've heard.
Yeah, that was the one in Oakland, though. They've come to the Chase Center. They built that new arena in San Francisco, which we actually came by. It was real nice, but
Right.
I think it's not called Oracle. It's called the Chase Center now. So,
I
Oracle.
knew that. I'm surprised you're not even the NBA fan and you knew that.
Well, only because I just recently visited it, so I may not have known that if it was not like fresh in my mind. It's a cool one too, Oracle, but just everything about Oracle, there was not a bad thing to say, like they could do this better. No, it was really awesome, and that arena is that stadium's like 20-something years old. So,
and nowadays stadiums don't last but 20 years anyways. It seems like
it sure doesn't seem like it. You're right.
Just knock them down. All righty.
Hey, good to be back, though.
Nice hoodie, by the way. Where'd you get it, Bar?
I got it from our shop. Same place I think you got that awesome hoodie as well.
Yes.
This awesome mug.
Ooh, see, that's better than this one. This is the regular mug. I think it's like $1 more. You can get that mug. But it's not
Something
that much
along those
more.
lines.
It's like $13 for this one, $14 for that one. You just cannot beat merchandise that's like with logos on it for this cheap. So it's just incredible. You have your tumblers or in the dishwasher.
Tumbler is not currently with me. Usually I keep it here, but it must have gotten picked up for cleaning.
Wife? Love it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hey, where's my tumbler?
That's right. Chop, chop. Okay. That's terrible. Hey, Roquan Smith. This one came out of, I don't want to say left field, but it definitely is like, what is it with these every single athlete demanding a trade? I know that his contract, he wanted to extend it with the Bears. Now he's saying, the Bears don't value me, or the new regime doesn't value me. Maybe these guys, here's a thought for modern athletes, Aaron. Maybe, and just maybe, you're a linebacker. You don't have to reset the market. Is that a thing here? Like, can we play for, you're going to get millions of dollars either way, and once a couple million here or there? I'm so tired of, they don't value me. No, they need cap space, moron. And they don't want to give it all to you. I don't understand this. Every last athlete's like, oh, they don't want to pay me. Yes, they do. Just not everything they have. Come on, man.
Yeah, this one's tough because you saw what's Darius Leonard's new name?
Shaquille.
Shaquille. Thank you. I couldn't think of it, but Shaquille Leonard. You saw him recently reset the market, so to speak, with like a 5-year, $100 million deal, something like that. But you're right. Actually, it's something I didn't really think about. There's no disrespect to Roquan Smith. He's not a bad linebacker by any stretch of the imagination. In fact, he's probably one of the better linebackers in the league.
Yes.
That's obviously, you can argue that, until you're blue in the face. But I think if you had to put a top 10 list, potentially even a top 5 list, Roquan Smith's going to find his way in the top 10, potentially top 5.
Yes.
But I think you got a point there. I think, why do all these players, linebackers, quarterbacks, whoever, take your pick, running back, wide receivers, especially wide receivers this offseason, all feel like they have to reset the market. You saw it with guys like DK and Debo. Eventually, if you play this chicken game long enough, you're not going to be resetting the market. Your value will be found, appropriately. And yeah, no, I've heard rumors that because Roquan's his own agent, he was a little tricked in the rookie contract negotiations. But ultimately, at the end of the day, like, if you don't feel comfortable as your own agent, you can have somebody look this over and before you sign contracts and everything. And I remember there was a little bit of a hiccup when he was first drafted as well. I don't want to get back into the 2018 vault back there, but I remember something being wrong when he first got drafted as well. But to me, I think you kind of nailed it on the head, and that really kind of switched my thought process here. Is just because you're next up and you're a quality player in the NFL, you don't get to reset the market. If the Bears want to give you that kind of money, absolutely, 100%. Who would ever in their right mind not put pen to paper? But yeah, I don't feel like this is a situation. Maybe the more comes out that we don't know about, but I don't feel like this is a situation where the Bears are necessarily taking advantage of Roquan Smith. So if he would like to enlighten us on why those things happen or what's happening that he believes that he's being taken advantage of, please let us know and give the Bears a chance to rebut these claims. But I'm not really on a side here, whether it's Bears or Smith. It's just, you're right. It's a unique, I guess, world we live in at this point where it's your time to get paid. How many Brinks trucks are we supposed to back up for you now because you think that you're supposed to be paid that? And I don't know, maybe that's a generational thing.
Eventually generational thing has to go out the window. Like, to say that a new GM doesn't value you, the GM will be stupid. Obviously, he values you, just not at what you value yourself as. Like, generational wealth is generational wealth. Like, if you're not going to be alive with the extra generations, I'm not saying, like, don't get all the money you can, but at the same time, it's like you just can't do this every single time you want, like $5 more million on your contract. That's not how this works. Like, teams have to have a cap. Right. I just don't get what he's talking about. Huh?
And the cap's pretty hard. It's not like basketball where you can find ways to manipulate it. There are some, signing bonuses, but at the end of the day, you can't go over that cap. However, you decide to work your financial magic. But just off top of your head, do you believe Roquan Smith's a $20 million linebacker? They've played this game with Khalil Mack and it didn't work out.
I would never pay a linebacker $20 million unless the market was like around that for average. Like, there was no way in a burning furnace that I cannot build like 3 more good guys for $20 million instead of just paying one guy who might or might not lead a great defense. Like, you can't bank on that. He can be good, you can be great, but 3 guys can replace you and fill your void and do other things.
Well, and that's the thing. The position of linebacker, especially middle linebacker, while it's traditionally the captain of the defense, has become a little bit less important than
with
a good safety, a good corner, and a good, like you said, a good to great edge rusher. You don't see a ton of really great linebackers anymore. Like, you don't see the Urlachers, the Ray Lewises. I mean, maybe Devin White, Levante David, Fred Warner. There's a few out there, and Roquan's not far behind those guys, but
Right.
I just don't think he's a $20 million linebacker.
And when Khalil Mack left, what happened? Defense was not as good. So, like, Roquan
he's just left this offseason, so we'll see what happens. He was hurt.
But
hurt a lot.
But Roquan is not. The defense was better than it like 3 years ago than it was last year. Is what I'll say.
Yeah, they have been on the huge decline over the last 3 years. 100%, absolutely.
There you go. Yankees have lost 7 of 8. I used the term panic button. I know it's not a panic button, but as Kevin Wildes of First Things First said about the Patriots reports, he was saying like a panic button has been installed. So I'll use that here. The panic button is not, being pressed or being smashed or even being touched, but they've called in the truck to back it up and put it in there. You cannot lose 7 of 8 because then they have like a gigantic division lead.
I believe they still do.
It cannot be that much anymore, though.
It's still double digits. I'll have to look, but
wow, we suck. Okay, then. Yeah, because I know the Red Sox just lost to the Braves again last night.
Yeah, it's still 10 games. They're 10 games above the Blue Jays right now, as it stands, even though they're 2-8 in their last 10.
I'll be honest, Aaron, I moved the Mets. Me and Sammy both moved the Mets up in our top 5s. Would you move the Mets past the Yankees or not yet? In terms of like power rankings?
If we're looking at recency bias, yes. I believe they're like 15-2 in their last 17 games. But in a 7-game series, no, I don't think so. However, big issue now is with Matt Carpenter breaking his foot. I mean, this guy was having a breakout season. Huge
no pun intended.
For the Yankees. Yeah, no pun intended. Having a huge season for the Yanks. It's a tough pill to swallow. It does seem like things are kind of going wrong right now, and it's the wrong time. They're going to get the Red Sox here for, I believe, a 3-game set, so it could come at the right time for them in Fenway. But, I don't know what to make of the Yankees. It's Garrett Cole can go out there and be Nolan Ryan on the mound, and then he can go out there and just get lit up like he's a batting practice pitcher against, teams like the Royals. Like, I don't know. To me, it's a funky little situation here. I can't figure out what the Yankees are. They have the talent, obviously. We know that. But they're just not really getting it. I mean, they're just not getting a lot of recent success. So I don't want to start packing them away, telling them to pick their parting gifts up. They've got no shot. But if August continues to be a tough month for them, yes, we can maybe open up the lid to the panic button.
Oh, I love it. You can almost smell it at that point. Okay. When we come back, we're talking NFL preseason in 3 words or less for NFC South quarterbacks. That should be fun. We're right back to AM Drive on Twitter, YouTube, and Facebook. Don't go anywhere. The AM Drive with Mike and Aaron might be the best morning show ever. If you love the show, shop the merchandise for $26 hoodies, $16 shirts, even $13 mugs. High quality swag for cheap because Mike and Aaron love the fans. The best morning show, the lowest price merch at amdrive.online.
This is Popple, the next generation business card. With just a tap, your Popple instantly shares your digital business card to both iPhone and Android devices. The best part? The other person doesn't need an app or a Popple to receive your info. To pop your info, tap your Popple to the top of an iPhone, the center of an Android, or just scan your in-app QR code. And just like that, all your info is saved to their phone. More connections, more leads, more sales. That's Popple. Download our free app and get your Popple today.
Aren't you the Vice Golf guy?
Yeah. You want an autograph?
Yeah. Actually, I was just wondering if the balls are any good.
The balls are amazing. You look like a Pro Plus guy.
I thought you'd never ask.
It's actually better than my old ball.
And it's half the price.
Top performing golf ball, half the price. It's almost stealing.
Quit searching the globe and get your high-performing golf balls at vicegolf.com.
Fanatics.com, the world's largest collection of officially licensed fan gear from all the leagues, teams, and players you love. Shop now and get today's special offer. Fanatics.com, officially licensed everything.
All right, and welcome back here to the AM Drive on this Thursday edition. And we are presented by Fanatics. You see it right up there on the screen. You see it every show, but you haven't gone to it yet. And why have you not gone to it yet? It's very simple. You can get all the latest and greatest in gear by visiting MikeandAaronDrive.com and doing what?
Clicking the F.
Absolutely. And when you click that F, it'll take you into Fanatics, and you can get all you need for the upcoming NFL season. Jerseys, hats, sweaters, hoodies, t-shirts, anything you can think of, they've got your team's logo on it. Today's deal, which is one of the awesome daily deals I like, is 65% off site-wide, up to 65% off. Some are less, but that's okay. You can get some awesome deals on some great merchandise, memorabilia, equipment by going to MikeandAaronDrive.com and clicking that F. And for when you do that, we thank you.
Yes, I beat you that time.
I'm rusty. I haven't done it in 3 days.
Tired.
So yes, it's been we've been go this week. So I'm trying to catch up on that sleep, and got early doctor's appointments today. So we are gonna sleep in September.
Woo! Wake me up when it ends.
Wow, Green Day, nice.
Yeah, I love Green Day. Okay, we're going preseason. We're doing 3 words first. Which one you want?
Yeah, let's talk a little preseason football. We got 2 games tonight. Football is back. And for those of you out there in the Baltimore area, you can get tickets to this Tennessee and Baltimore game for as low as $5.
That's sad. And by the way, I want to preface my comments on the preseason by saying this because it's pretty sad. Aaron Rodgers says, quote, "It doesn't matter if I play one series." And it makes me wonder, as much as I want to root for the guys who want, who are going to make it only because of if they play well in preseason, let's be real. Training camp and all the other stuff matters. They see you every time. I believe preseason at this point is just to get us prepared for the regular season. But I mean that in like Aaron Rodgers and all these starters do not have to play. They're just doing it for the fan revenue at this point, to me. Well, they see enough in practice, but I don't think preseason games determine if a guy's going to do anything. Do you? I mean, it's tough pill to swallow, but at this point, I don't know what to say about it.
I think 100% the preseason matters. However, it definitely should be shortened. Yes, Aaron Rodgers should never take a snap. Tom Brady should never take a snap. These guys have been game ready for 20 years, 18, whatever, however long.
Daniel Jones should never take a snap. I agree.
Yeah, maybe in the third or last game, Daniel Jones should get a few to get some hits. Of course, we see these injuries. I mean, we're seeing these injuries at training camp. How many guys have torn Achilles? I feel like I see a blurb about that every single day. We have a new one with Jeremy Grant, I believe, in Cleveland, or Jakeem Grant, excuse me. Another torn Achilles. It's like, you can get hurt just as easily in practice as you can in a game situation. So I think that game situation matters a ton to the guys who are on the fringe or the guys who are trying to save roster spots or even starting spots at this point.
Right.
There's a guy I grew up with, played for Tampa, got to know him a little bit back in the day. His name was Ryan Neese. Now, if you look up that name, Neece, he was a 7th round draft pick that probably wasn't going to make the team until like the 3rd preseason game. He ended up having like 15, 16 tackles in the preseason game. Ended up turning that into a roster spot. I want to say he played for at least a decade for Tampa.
Wow.
So it does matter. Don't tell these 5th to 7th round picks it doesn't matter. I mean, and even that, we get to see guys, guys that slipped. Maybe Desmond Ridder. I know he's a 3rd round pick, but Carson Strong goes undrafted. We might see him
Yes.
one of these preseason games. Like that stuff matters.
Okay, I'm bought in
to
again.
The bottom end of the rosters and the bottom end of now. Am I going to be spending regular season prices to go watch preseason games? Absolutely, 100% no. And do I even watch the games? Not traditionally. If I'm bored and there's nothing on, and I'll watch a preseason.
Yeah.
But NFL preseason at this point doesn't even air nationally still. As far as we are, there are some games on NFL Network here and there, but we don't even have nationally televised preseason games, which again is not the worst thing in the world for me. But if you're trying to, look at a team that you don't live in their area, if you're a Tampa Bay fan, you live in Las Vegas. You're not. It's going to be hard to see your team play.
There's websites.
There is, but there's also the biggest factor that nobody really talks about in the preseason. That's fantasy football. You're scouting out all these sleepers, so to speak. Like there's so many things that still matter. Maybe not to me, maybe not to you, but I think the preseason still matters to a lot of factors. Those deep fantasy football nerds, that matters to them. The guy trying to make the fifth wide receiver roster spot, that matters. I mean, look at Jakeem Grant just went down with an injury. That's a roster spot for somebody who may not have made the team.
I would say if the NFL just advertised that, see the 4th to 7th round picks play this preseason, I think you might get might get more eyeballs, because then it's now we know, don't expect starters, but what's your team got under the rug here?
Well, that could be true. I
wouldn't mind seeing it advertised as that.
I mean, look at the situation. Okay, Friday we have a matchup tomorrow, Green Bay at San Francisco. If the NFL is promoting it as Aaron Rodgers versus Trey Lance, that's a problem.
Mm-hmm.
Because you're almost doing the old bait and switch here at this point. And that may be pissing people off because, we know we're not going to get Trey Lance and Aaron Rodgers.
Yes.
So why are you marketing it that way?
That's what I'm saying. Market it as just some running back, or can this guy get it? Or something like Hard Knocks. They should market it as, can this wide receiver get a roster spot? Will this guy perform well? Find out in the NFL preseason. That stuff to me would matter more than seeing Aaron Rodgers for a series he doesn't give a crap about. His words, not mine.
And that's the problem, is if and when Trey Lance does go out there, or if Aaron Rodgers went out there and he was, 2 for 9 with a pick, all of a sudden, he doesn't, but all of a sudden the media has, Aaron Rodgers, he going to be washed up. Remember week 1 when the Saints destroyed Aaron Rodgers last year?
Yes. That was our first week on this show. Our first NFL week. That was horrible.
But we had so much to talk about.
Mm-hmm.
Preseason, you have to take preseason with a grain of salt. So there are some good matchups, but you're really trying to, like you said, trying to find your future stars of tomorrow. Maybe they can advertise it that way.
Telling you. All righty. I love this game, Aaron, and thank you for chiming in on yesterday's AFC East quarterbacks. The Zach Wilson thing was not funny, by the way. It was in poor taste. Shame on you.
That was AFC East, right? No.
AFC East, yeah, I know.
Did you do AFC East last week or yesterday?
Yesterday, yes.
Did you do AFC East?
It was supposed to be Tuesday, but your boy slept, so it's going to be all right. So today we're doing NFC South. It's our third rendition of this. It's your boy Tom Brizzle. So let's get Tom Brizzle out of the way first, because I don't want to hear. I still want to hear you harp on it too much. Just give me Tom Brady, 3 words or less. First thing that comes to mind, or how do you describe him? Just go ahead.
All right, so I really thought you would go Tom Brady last. So this would be a culmination of this entire segment. So going first, I will say Tom Brady. When it comes to mine, this is the division, and it's yours to lose.
Oh, good. I like that.
I mean, look at and you'll see why when we go through all these other quarterbacks. Falcons in a rebuild, Panthers in a quarterback battle with 2 mediocre guys. And then, of course, Jameis coming off the big injury. And if it isn't Jameis, it's Taysom Hill. And, boy, nobody's losing sleep over that guy.
Except for those Saints pockets, but whatever. For Tom Brady, I'm going with Father Time. Tom, admit it. You want to retire. We know it. I know it. Aaron knows it. Everyone knows it, okay? So because it didn't go the way you like does not mean you shouldn't have stayed retired, okay? This year, yeah, you're going to walk over your division. If you lose to the Saints this year, I dare you to lose to the Saints because Tom Brady, I will crucify you and damn you on the show. But until that point, let's just say you do sweep your division. Good luck with the rest of the NFL, bro. Father time is real. And eventually, it's knocking on LeBron's door. It's going to knock on your door. It's all happening. Keep those. Just hope you get some counting stats because Father time is real. I cannot wait for this year of Tom Brady. You should have stayed retired. That's all I got to say on that one.
Stop. You're just like these guys who have said Tom Brady's done for the last decade because in hopes of 1 year you'll finally be right. And 1 year you finally thought you were right. For 30 days, he put the old bait and switch on you. I mean, this team stays healthy. How do you feel? How do you not see them running through the South? And yeah, the Saints might actually
the South.
Saints might actually still beat them this year. I mean, they've seemed to have their number, except for that one playoff game, which ended up being Drew's last. So that's the only one that matters to me in terms of beating the Saints.
I could run for the NFC South, to be fair.
I call.
Right, okay. Okay, let's get to Jameis Winston. I'll go first here. 3 words or less. How about 1 word? How about health? Come on, Jameis was starting to, I want to say look good because he was definitely game managing, but at least he looked better. He looked like he was a competent quarterback, a guy who could make smart decisions. I'm just scared to death for the Saints. Forget his health. What about, are we going to trust the team without Sean Payton and Andrew Brees? Can we really trust them? We know their defense is going to be good. They have 3 defensive coordinators on the staff, though. One is the head coach. The other 2 are the defensive coordinators. That's a problem to me. This team will win games 6-3 and be proud of it. And I would not be proud of that. They're gonna have some growing pains. I know Michael Thomas is back. No one the heck took him so long. Maybe he was depressed or gambling. Who knows? But for now, health is the word for Jameis Winston.
It's funny you mentioned Michael Thomas in that one because my words for Jameis are trust your weapons. I know that we have defensive coordinators running the rooms in New Orleans. I still think there's that Sean Payton philosophy here. I wouldn't sweat too much here in this spot. And look, I mean, I'll run down the line here just really quickly. Mark Ingram's back, obviously, in New Orleans, but you have Kamara, Michael Thomas, Jarvis Landry. You've got the rookie Chris Olave, who can definitely electrify.
Well, he's
trust your weapons. That is my 3 words or less for Jameis Winston. I fought back and forth, and you're right. Health is obviously key, and I want to see him utilize his arm, which obviously has gotten him in trouble in Tampa. But just, Jameis, trust your weapons. That's all I can say.
Marcus Mariota for the Falcons. This might be my favorite one. Give me 3 words or less for Marcus Mariota.
So for Marcus Mariota, for me, the 3 words I have are nothing really matters. You are not the future. The Falcons are rebuilding. Desmond Ridder is the guy. So whatever kind of season you have, if you even have a full season, nothing really matters.
I have a good one for you. My 3 words or less are left it blank. Because that's what I did. It's just, I feel sorry for Marcus Mariota at this point. He has been the pro's pro. I haven't ever heard him complain. It's just he knows he's here in hopes that he doesn't tear his own ACL. Because that'd just be the nail in the coffin for this guy if he just goes out and gets a horrible injury. I mean, it's just you're exiled to Atlanta, who is the worst they've been since probably before Michael Vick. This is just brutal. This is unfair to Marcus Mariota, who I believe is a good guy. And I've never thought was a good quarterback. Didn't think Hero Jameis was going to be good. But, man, I cannot help but root for Marcus Mariota, and I feel so sorry for him, so I left it blank. I'm
Yeah, I
sorry.
can get down now. That's kind of funny. I like that.
Let's do Sam Darnold. 3 words or less. I'll go first here. I'll leave you with a question. It's one word. Busted? As in, is Sam Darnold really busted here? Is he, because you have another guy we're going to talk about next in his shadows or right there alongside him from what it looks like from camp, that they're having an open competition. I thought Darnold did okay. Led a great comeback 1 week last year. And then Christian McCaffrey went down. The whole team went down. So I'm just wondering, was I completely wrong about Sam Darnold? At this point, most would say yes. But this year, I'm going to answer that. If you lose the job to Baker Mayfield, pal, you're just a career journeyman at this point, and you're probably the next Marcus Mariota, the next Ryan Fitzpatrick. Congratulations, Sam Darnold.
So mine, 3 words or less for Sam Darnold, is riding the pine. As of right now, he is currently listed on the first unofficial depth chart as number 2.
Of course.
So what that means, I don't know. I guess we'll find out. These are 2 quarterbacks we'll definitely see in the preseason, along with Matt Corral and potentially PJ Walker.
I love Matt Corral. And who else?
And PJ Walker's still on this roster as well.
PJ. XFL legend.
I'm just saying we're going to see 4 quarterbacks get into these games, which traditionally you don't, other than maybe the first preseason game. But yeah, as of right now, Sam Darnold is number 2 behind Baker Mayfield. You traded for Baker Mayfield. It almost seems like if you had to make me pick right now, Baker Mayfield is the better quarterback. That may or may not be true come the end of the 4th preseason game. But with Cleveland on the horizon, Deshaun going to be out. You really want to get jump-started. Baker beating Cleveland, that would be the way to go. So I think ultimately right now it's Sam Darnold riding the pine.
Was PJ Walker number 4, number 3?
He's number 4, according to number 3.
Cool. Okay. For Baker Mayfield, you asked. How about that? You asked for everything that's about to happen here. Every criticism, every good thing, every bad thing, probably mostly bad things. You asked Baker, you shall receive, pal. That's just what I got to say for Baker. I feel like Baker Mayfield has gotten in his own way by demanding trades. And I'm not mad at him for wanting out of Cleveland. I'm mad at him for just saying, screw you guys, I'm not going to play. Like, Deshaun Watson is a far better quarterback than you, baggage or not. So you obviously had a great team around you and did not do legally squat with it. So you asked, go out there and show us you can do on a far less superior team, and I'm gonna laugh. I'm going to laugh at Panthers' expenses this year. It's gonna be a fun ride because I'm gonna laugh if Sam Darnold takes his job right back. That'd be the end all be all for me. It's just Baker Mayfield winds his way out of town. Sam Darnold takes his job back. I feel slight vindication to have another hope of Sam Darnold year for next year. I don't know.
All right, so to wrap up this game, I do have Baker Mayfield here, and my 3 words or less is false hope future. I don't think this is the answer for the Carolina Panthers. They are going to have another poor year. I think if they stay healthy, they won't be as bad. I think they're looking at like 7-10, 8-9 at this point. Wow. And Matt Rule gets fired.
Ooh.
So these are fun though. I like these. These are fun. So tomorrow we'll have another one. I'm assuming we'll have AFC South quarterbacks.
Yes.
Of course, I can already see that one. The wheels turning on that one, of course. And of course, Fantasy Draft Friday is tomorrow. You have to stay tuned to all of our social medias to find out what that Fantasy Draft Friday is going to be. But we appreciate you guys, supporting, watching, tuning in, interacting on all our social medias, which you can find at AM Drive TV on Facebook and Twitter and the Instagram as well. And of course, the subscription to YouTube is key. So guys, we'll see you all tomorrow again, bright and early here, 11 a.m. Eastern time. For Michael Carvelis, I'm Aaron Crouch saying have a wonderful day. And what do you say? What do you tell him, Mike?
Drive safe.